What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Cars Tech. I don't want to waste a second of your all's time. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 2021 Volkswagen Arteon, and I'm telling you, this vehicle is packed to the brim with technology. Let's get into it. Now, if you guys want to see a full review of this vehicle where we talk about the design, the materials used, and things like that, head over and check out the Bachmann Volkswagen channel. I have it linked above. I make videos for them, and I did a full review of this vehicle over there. This vehicle is courtesy of them. If you need a Volkswagen in the Louisville area or the Indiana area or any of those surrounding states, definitely head over to Bachmann Volkswagen and pick one up. They will take good care of you. But this is a tech review, and we're going to be taking a look at the plethora of technology in this vehicle, and it is everywhere. If you want to start outside, you can. You've got parking sensors, cameras all around the car, really intricate lighting. But let's start with that camera system. So you have Volkswagen's overhead view camera system, but this isn't anything that's necessarily different than other manufacturers like Chevy or Subaru or Hyundai, all those other vehicles that we've taken a look at on this channel, but it's still nice to have nonetheless. And it has a couple upgrades that I have not seen before. So let's go ahead and start her up. Oh, and I did want to mention before we keep going, this is an SEL Premium R-Line. So this is the best of the best that you can get of this vehicle. And there's a price tag to match. $48,775 for this four-door sedan. So you would expect it to have some nice technology. But let's go ahead and look at this camera system. So if you push this parking camera button here, boom, there it is. You can see the front-facing camera, the rear-facing camera, and the two side mirror cameras in this 360-degree view. Now, one nice feature that it has is that it has parking sensors around the vehicle, so if an obstacle gets too close, it'll give you these little colored lines telling you as it gets closer and closer, so I really like that feature. But this is the one that I haven't seen before. So if we go ahead and hit this little 3D model button, it gives us what amounts to like an Insta360 360-degree camera, or like the GoPro. Oh, what's the name of that GoPro? I can't remember. The GoPro that has the two cameras on either side. It's that like small planet type of view that you get with 360-degree cameras. And it does that. It gives you the small planet here on the Volkswagen Arteon. So as you're driving, you can kind of see the world kind of morph around you. It's a really cool look. Not sure how helpful it is when you're driving or trying to park into a tight spot, but I think they did it more just because it's cool. So that is a little feature that I haven't seen before, but you can also do interesting things with that 360 camera. So when you've got the kind of small planet view, I'm gonna call it that, you can change the actual position of the camera. So you can do it from more of the side. So you can kind of see almost like a third person view of your vehicle as you're driving. So you can kind of get this weird angle here, and you can actually pivot your car around. And if you pivot your car around, it's gonna give you a different angle of that camera system. So you can do like the front, you can do like a weird kind of offset to the side look. It's a really cool implementation of the 360-degree camera system that I've never seen before. You can also do one that's a little bit more of like a straight on camera view. So that one we just looked at is more of like this. So maybe, what is that, like a 45-degree angle? This is more closer to a straight on angle, but you can do that same kind of orbiting motion where you can twist the car around and it'll give you kind of different points of interest and different ways of looking at your vehicle. So really cool implementation of that 360-degree camera system that I haven't seen before outside of just that standard top-down look, which really, if you think about it, is gonna be the most helpful view, is that straight down view, but these are cool to have nonetheless. So that is your camera system here on the Volkswagen Arteon, but that's not all. Let's take a look at this steering wheel. So Volkswagen did a lot of things with this steering wheel and what they're doing going forward. It's kind of a little glimpse into the future of Volkswagen. Now, we've already seen that they've announced their ID3 and ID4 all-electric vehicles. Those are actually already available for pre-order. I'm not sure if the ID3 is actually in America, but the ID4 is available, and people, I think, have already gotten them. If not, they're going to get them very soon. I've not even sat in one, but I've seen plenty of concept art and the pictures and plenty of reviews on it. But that is their all-electric vehicle, and it's got some of these awesome kind of tech features. But we've also seen in the upcoming 2022 GTI, the upcoming 2022 Tiguan, and I'm sure the Atlas and things like that that will be coming out soon will have a lot of these tech features. But this steering wheel has the touch capacitive buttons. Now, you guys are probably familiar with what that is, but if you're not, it basically is a piece of plastic with a light shining through, showing you where the buttons are, but they don't move, right? You can't actually physically engage the buttons at all. You're just touching the plastic, and the little vibrating motors are giving you the feedback to make you think that you're pushing it. And now the iPhone has had this before, and there's plenty of other tech that has it, but I'm most familiar with the iPhone. When the old Touch ID button, that was just a slab of glass. You put your finger on it, and it would give you that little boom, boom, and it make you think you're pushing it. Same kind of idea here, but this is plastic, not glass. So if you want to push one of these buttons, you can push it, and it clicks, makes a clicking noise like you're actually pushing it. But again, if the vehicle is off, the plastic doesn't move at all. So a really weird phenomenon, but I really like it here. You also have, which is I haven't seen before, is these little sliding buttons here. So these actually give you a little feedback like you're sliding around. You can change the stations, you can turn your volume up and down. On your infotainment center, you can swipe to click through stations. So really cool feature here, having these touch capacitive buttons. Has your adaptive cruise control on one side and your media controls on the other, including your heated steering wheel, which is awesome to have on this vehicle. But again, talk about that in the full review, so go watch that after you finish this video. Really cool touch capacitive buttons there on this awesome updated steering wheel. Now, past the steering wheel, you have Volkswagen's very, very well-known digital dash. Now, this is not new by any means. They've had these all the way since, I think, 2018, 2019, around there, on plenty of different models. You can get this all the way down on, like, you can get them on the Jetta, though, I know that for a fact, and that's probably the cheapest model you can get it on. But it's awesome because it's got plenty of different features to it. And one of the coolest things that it has is the implementation of full screen navigation. Now, I'm not a big fan of in-vehicle navigation systems, but if you go ahead and push display map in instrument cluster, hit that, it's gonna start up over here on the digital dash. It'll actually take up the entire screen and you get your navigation straight in front of your eyes, which I think is really cool. Now, again, I wish this could implement with the other systems like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, using Google Maps, Waze, Apple Maps, things like that. But for now, you can only use Volkswagen's navigation system. But if you do happen to have a vehicle that has the built-in navigation, this is a really cool way to use it. So you've got other stuff besides navigation. You can see like your assist systems, so your adaptive cruise control. You can see like how close vehicles are in front of you when you're using your adaptive cruise control. You can see what gear you're in, what's the temperature outside, what driving mode you're in, what the speed limit is, all kinds of information right here on this beautiful 12.3-inch digital cluster, which I think is absolutely awesome. Another cool thing that it has, I love RGB, right? You guys probably like RGB too for the most part, not everyone, but a lot of people like RGB. This kind of has that in the kind of customization sense because it has these colored lines on it that kind of highlight different aspects of it, and you can adjust all of that inside of the vehicle settings. So if you go to car and then you go to settings and then you go to ambient lighting, you can just switch through all these different colors here, which is cool. It not only changes the gauge cluster, but it also changes kind of how the lights look around the cabin. So if it's in the dark, change the whole mood of the cabin. Super cool. Now let's take a look at this 8-inch infotainment center. Now this isn't the biggest infotainment center out there. It's not the most high resolution. It's not the most feature rich, but it's got some really cool features to it. So one of those we've seen in some other vehicles we've looked at, and that's wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So we can set that up by going to App Connect, and you can connect it via a USB first and that'll work, but you can also pair your phone via Bluetooth, and there we go. We now have access to CarPlay wirelessly. So as you can see, no wire plugged in here. I love having that in-vehicle system and it looks great on this display. So this isn't a new feature necessarily, but it does kind of seem to fit in with what Volkswagen is going to want to do in the future, and that is their gesture control system. Now again, this has been around for quite a while, but you can actually navigate the different pages of your infotainment system just by swiping your hand like that, and you get that little sound effect. It's not flawless. Super cool. It's got a little proximity sensor here down at the bottom, and it lets you do that and kind of navigate back and forth. The only real downside to this is like, well, a couple things. One, you really can only swipe. That's the only gesture. There's no like, twisting of the hand or anything to kind of rotate through the different maps or anything like that, or any kind of like swipe up features like you'd see on like a phone. It's more just like swiping back and forth, and you have to get pretty close to do it. And by that point, you're like so close to the screen that you may as well just touch it and do stuff because it's a little bit more responsive and less likely to not work, but it's cool to have nonetheless. As far as other technology features go in this thing that I think just really kind of make it awesome, you do have 2 USB-C ports in here, which I love when there's USB-C ports because I just want that on everything because it just makes it so much easier. Just buy like a couple cords and you're good. You never need like multiple different USB-A, Lightning, USB-C, micro USB. Just give me USB-C across the board. And another really cool thing is you have massage seats. Well, massage seat. So if you're lucky enough to be the driver of this bad boy, you will get your back massaged for as long as you want. And since they are heated and ventilated, you can turn on some nice warm heated seats, pop your massage on right now, which is what I got going, and you can just chill. Can't get much better than that. Okay. I was done making this video. I was done. I had turned off the camera. It was over. And then I figured something out. We talked about that interior ambient lighting, right? Well, one thing I didn't mention, because I didn't even think it was relevant, is a design feature. And that is over on these door panels, you have these different textured materials, right? But you have this one black plastic piece that has these little perforated dots here. They're not really perforated, but they just kind of feel like they are. So these little dots all on these accents. And I thought to myself, oh, they're just red because that just kind of goes with the car. No, they were red when I talked about them over in my full review because my interior ambient lighting was set to red. So these things are going to change depending on what you've got your interior ambient lighting set to, which is awesome. So if I go ahead and turn them to like pink, you might not be able to see it, but I'll definitely give you a close-up shot. These things turn pink. So you're gonna get some awesome accents in this car depending on what you set your interior ambient lighting to. And I'll give you guys some shots in the dark real quick. And that's just kind of what it looks like. Super awesome feature. So cool. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Drop a like on the video if you loved it. Tell me in the comments down below, what is your favorite technology feature here in the feature-packed Volkswagen Arteon. It's an awesome vehicle. Super cool design inside and out. Again, check out the full review on Bachman's channel, but some incredible technology here that I'm a huge fan of. Let's have a conversation about it down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be among the first to see every single new video the second I hit publish. We'll see you in the next one.